Hello YouTube and fellow inhabitant, greetings from the Stop Motion Reviewer. This week we're going to be taking a look at Titan's Return SixShot. SixShot made its return into the Titan's Return line in late 2014 as part of Wave 3 of the Leader Class assortment. Starting out in robot mode, this figure is humongous. As hard as it is to believe, kids who shouldn't be on my YouTube channel to begin with, Leader Class figures are once 8 to 9 inches tall. This guy's robot mode looks incredibly imposing and has a heavily Japanese aesthetic. The very anime bodyguard look to SixShot is about as G1 headmasters as you can get. The helmet can open up to show that he has kind of a sculpted in headband with the Japanese lettering for the number 6. This is an awesome detail that they didn't need to add, but they decided to anyways. While we go ahead and open up his head, let's take a look at his headmaster guy. SixGun comes with a largely unpainted headmaster named Revolver, who I won't be going into articulation with and won't be discussing for long. I have 6 other goddamn alt modes to worry about, so that's the least of my concerns. He's sculpted in slightly unpainted plastic and has the upside down face tack on his ass crack, which is the usual Titan Master trend. The figure's articulation is fairly basic for Leader Class figures from this time period, and there are some major joint issues. First of all, the hips. The hips are on tight-ass ratchet joints on the forwards and backwards movement, but the outwards movement sucks complete shit.
Somebody better get this guy a condom, because he's got limp dick syndrome.
The ankle tote, if that's what you want to call this, has one locking point, and it's way the hell out here. Why does Hasbro go through the effort of adding ratchet joints on something if it only has one stopping point and makes it so the figure either has to stand up perfectly straight or do a full split? Isn't the point of ratchet joints to support the additional weight of the figure? If so, why only 2 stopping points? Leader Class Blaster has fantastic ratcheting joints with multiple stopping points that allow for me to do a smooth, easy transformation. He's a great example of how you should handle ratchet joints. The arms on SixGun are also incredibly loose on the rotation and outwards movement. As much as it was nice to have large Leader Class figures in the past, it's better for me, in my opinion, to have a 7 or 8 inch Leader Class figure that has decent joints instead of 9 inches of weak, janky, crappy plastic. Let's move on to Mode 2, Anti-Aircraft Vehicle. This anti-aircraft vehicle is actually pretty boss when you look at it from the front. It's large and in charge and absolutely absurd, and that's what I love about SixShot, is all the absurdity of all 6 of his alt modes. This thing is armed to the teeth and looking deadly. There's also a couple of issues with this mode though. The legs don't peg together, and that's highly annoying in a way, but beneficial in others. You can tilt the guns on one side independently of the other, which adds some versatility, but the turrets can't rotate, which kinda stinks. On top of that, the knees are a bit of a whack show, and I can't figure out how they bend without leaving an enormous hollow gap in the back. Other than that, this mode's a ton of fun. It's deadly as all hell, and I would definitely ride this thing in the battle. The headmasters can also fit inside of the main cockpit to man the guns, which is a good damn thing, because without the storage of the head mode, you might have to wind up Frankensteining up a compromise. Let's move on to Mode 3, the car mode. The absolute absurdity of this car mode is absolute perfection. I want 50 of them right now, goddammit. I want this to be my personal vehicle so bad it isn't even funny. It's literally just this perfectly square brick with wheels, and it's absurdly awesome. This guy can fit 2 Titan Masters in the car mode, and it probably takes 2 of them to drive the damn thing. I love how the guns perfectly interlock to form the bumper, or battering ram would be more appropriate to call it. The wheels are goddamn enormous, and it just screams Death on wheels, move out of the way, bitches. It certainly is a wide boy.
Damn, boy, he's thick, boy!
The wideness of this vehicle mode is exactly the reason I love it. This thing would definitely take up both sides of the road and leave absolutely no room for pedestrians. Just like people driving in my hometown because everyone seems to be stupid. Let's go on to Mode 4, the Jet Mode. The Jet Mode, aka the triangular flying brick with wings, is an okay alt mode, but certainly not the best. The guns help to widen out the wings, which I'm thankful for because they felt pretty short at first. The landing gear on mine is stuck and doesn't work at all for some reason though. The Titan Master can fit inside the cockpit if you fold out the head, but I think it looks stupid and I can personally just remember where it goes for this mode. Altogether, it's a jet mode that exists, but it's one I don't personally care for that much. It's a little bit too square and a little bit too chunky for me, and it doesn't really look like it can possibly fly. For some reason, it also looks better upside down. But anyways, let's move on to Mode 5, the Space Submarine Mode. Even though 95% of the fan base already knows that this isn't a submarine but a space gun upside down, I'm going to try to look at this alt mode as if I'm the average consumer who doesn't know anything about SixShot and has to be forced with the reality that this is a space submarine. I personally think the idea of this being a space submarine mode actually looks better than the gun mode and works better, because unfortunately as you rotate the arms back, there's no tabs in that area and you just wind up with the same old floppy disaster you had in robot mode. I really wish this figure had a lot more locking points on it, because it's pretty careless for a $60 leader class figure to only tab together in 3 modes out of 6. But I love this space submarine mode. I love the inverted upside down wing cockpit weird thing. I don't even know where the hell a Titan Master is supposed to go in this thing, and I think that's why I like it. It's so absurd that you can't ride in it, but you definitely do know it's a vehicle. It's a hardcore space cruiser with a cockpit made out of actual guns, and it's just a fun figure to yeet into battle. Mode 6, Wolf Mode. The Wolf mode is actually surprisingly cohesive for pretty much being his robot mode, laying down with his knees bent backwards and his arms extended out. I love how the gun becomes the tail too. Nothing like utilizing fire farts to go into battle. The Wolf mode has an opening jaw and the same standard leg movement I was too lazy to animate. For some reason he gives off major Zord energy in this mode, and I think that's what I like about it. So, final thoughts. Altogether, SixShot is an awesome idea that no one saw coming in an average retail market, and no one, I mean no one, saw this coming. His transformations are essentially just G1 SixShot with elbows and knees, but isn't that the point here? Isn't the point of Generations lines to recreate updated G1 designs with modern engineering and articulation, and a much more show-accurate or at least modernized take on the character? Yeah, pretty much. And that's exactly what this figure is and succeeds in doing. It's a G1 accurate, faithful version of SixShot that's as screen accurate as is humanly possible for the average retail market. SixShot is worth the price of admission, and his aftermarket asking price hasn't skyrocketed to hell. I'm doing away with the 1 to 10 scaling system because I think that buying the figure should be up to you, and you have to make the decision on whether it's good or not, but I'd say it's definitely worth giving a shot for the price. This has been the Stop Motion Reviewer, and my next review will either be on Combiner Wars Bruticus or TFC Hercules. You decide which in the comments section below.